students, welcome to the session. This is Sweta, your English master teacher at Vedantu. So today we will be doing If I Were You by Douglas James, wherein I will be explaining the entire chapter, guys. So complete analysis, complete understanding of the chapter of this play is what we are going to do in today's session. So this session is going to be very important, very crucial for all of you. So for your understanding, please do not miss out and stay throughout the end. Stay till the end throughout the session, okay? And in the next session, we will be dealing with the theme, title, important questions. So today we will be only dealing with the play, okay? Let me begin with a wonderful quote. True genius in strategy or anywhere lies in self-control, self-mastery, presence of mind, fluidity of thought. Don't we find this in this particular play? Let's see how. So self-control is maintaining calm, okay? Controlling your emotions, right? Presence of mind, your intelligence, all of this is required, okay? And that is what is true genius. Now let's see how this is relevant in the play that we're going to delve into right now. So this is, guys, the author, about the author. Okay? You can definitely go through it. Alright? Name, where he was born, when was he born, his education, etc. etc. And with that, guys, let us proceed and delve into the explanation part. So this play is set, now first it is about the setting of the play. What is the setting of the play? In a small cottage. Okay, what else do we have? Since this is a play, so of course the setting plays an important role over here, right? Now the room has an entrance on the right hand side with a curtain on it. You can see over here. Okay, there's another door to the left side of the room which is in use. The room has a simple furniture, a small table to the left, small table here, okay, a chair or two. You can see the chairs already, right, and a small bed on the right side of the room, okay, right. So next we see on the table, where what do we see? A telephone. You can see over here, locate the telephone, right? As the curtain on the stage is rolled up, it's a play, right? So the curtain has to move, right? The curtain has to rise. Gerard, so he is our main character over here. Gerard is the protagonist of the play. He is found standing by the table, you can see over here, making a phone call. Now, description of Gerard. Physical description. This is important for your character sketch. When you begin Gerard's character sketch, you have to begin with the physical description of Gerard. Okay? He is of medium height, wearing spectacles. Okay, shape of horn. Spectacles are horn, so horn-rimmed spectacles. Okay, he's wearing a lounge suit. You can see over here, and a great coat. His voice indicates that he's cultured and well educated. Okay, moving ahead. Gerard is speaking on the phone and he says that the person should call him directly, and then he puts his phone back. Okay? Then he goes to the divan and starts packing. You can see this is the divan. He starts packing. Okay? In a traveling bag. While he is busy packing, suddenly another man who is similar to Gerard is in physical appearance. He enters the room silently from the right side. Okay, you can see over here, silently he enters. He has a gun in one hand. He has a gun, okay. He's dressed in bright colored dress and overcoat. So this is the physical description of and the dressing style of the other man, okay, which is another important character in your play. He bumps into the table and Gerard, so while he was trying to silently get in, but he bumps suddenly into the table, and that causes a noise, and that makes Gerard attentive, and he turns around. Okay. So Gerard speaks pleasantly to the stranger and says he's surprised to see him. So when he sees the stranger, he is not at all showing any sign of anxiety or nervousness. He's very calm, okay? And he's speaking in a pleasant manner, saying, "Oh, I'm surprised to see you." Question. And yes, let me remind you that the speaker had a gun, okay? Sorry, it's not the speaker, sorry, the stranger had a gun, okay? So this stranger had a gun which was pointed towards Gerard. Despite that, Gerard was speaking in a calm manner. Okay, calm. This is very, very important. No sign of anxiety. Now, the question for you is, how did Gerard behave on seeing a gun-toting stranger in his cottage? Quickly, let me know the answer in the chat box, guys. Okay, so let's move. I hope you have all given your answers. He showed no signs of anxiety, was absolutely calm, and he was speaking to him in a very pleasant manner. Okay, the intruder says he's glad to find Gerard, happy to see him. So the moment he says that, "Oh, I'm so surprised to see you," he says, "Oh," the intruder says, "Oh, I am glad that you find happiness in seeing me." Okay, and then he says, he adds that Gerard won't remain happy when he comes to know of his intention. He says, "You're happy to see me, but you won't be happy when you actually know what is my purpose, what is my intention, why have I come here," right? And then he, of course, he says, "Put those paws up, okay? Put your hands up." All right. So Gerard finds the intruder's behavior to be dramatic and not very natural. That is what Gerard says. That, "Oh, your behavior is very dramatic. Okay, just like movies, just like dramas. Because he was a man of theater, right? So he says that, "Oh, you are very dramatic. You're telling me to put my hands up. Not very natural acting." That's what he says, right? So guys, I hope you people are enjoying the session. If you want to gain further knowledge, gain 100% knowledge, score 100% marks, you can see a link there in the description box and pinned comment. And you can have unlimited access to live classes with fun and high level quizzes. YouTube sessions, how is the regular session different from that of YouTube session is that there you can have unlimited live classes, but here you have limited number of live classes, right? Plus each session is going to have quiz, high level quiz, okay, where you can compete with the students throughout the world, and you will have replays. So even if you're watching the replays, they're going to be interactive and live, right? Live, and you will also have leaderboard. So that is something which is super amazing. Also, you can download the content with handwritten notes of the master teachers. At the end, you will be able to download the content, right? Plus doubt solving. Yes, so we have class teachers present, okay, and they are going to solve your doubts. Whatever you have within your class, they're going to solve all the doubts, guys. Plus, you have assignments at the end of each session, and that will help you understand whether you have understood the content being taught in the class. How much have you been able to grasp? You will have quality tests. We will take your tests, and we will give you your performance report, which will help you understanding where you stand, what are your strengths and weaknesses. Plus you get 5,000 plus micro courses and crash courses for competitive exams. So micro courses are chapter wise courses that is going to be super helpful. Again, if you find any topic, any problem in any particular chapter, you can take the help of that particular chapter with the help of the micro courses. You can get yourselves enrolled in that. Plus crash courses, we have recently launched a lot of crash courses. So all these are for free, guys. You do not have to pay any extra amount. Even the amount that you have to pay is very less, guys. So just visit the link in the description box and pinned comment and use the coupon code SWREPRO, and you can see till March 21 it's 2000. The moment you apply the coupon code SWREPRO, you get it for 1600 only, which makes it per class price as only rupees 8. So that is something which is very affordable, guys. Okay, so resuming back to the session, the intruder says that he's trying to be composed, and then he is falling short of the word. So what happens is the intruder can measure what the Gerard is trying to do. And he says, "Oh, you're trying to be composed," and then he stops. And who completes that sentence? It is Gerard saying, "Oh, you want to say that I am trying to be calm and nonchalant or not showing any anxiety or enthusiasm? Is that you want to say? Is that what you want to say?" And what is the intruder saying? "Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much for completing my sentence, for helping me to complete my sentence. But you will soon stop acting smart. You're trying to act smart with me. Soon you will stop acting smart, and I will torture you, make you crawl." Right? So that is how he's trying to threaten. So you see how the intruder is constantly trying to threaten Gerard, right? Constantly. And then Gerard says that the intruder could ask him anything, but before that, he wanted to sit comfortably. Gerard, what does he say? That you can ask me whatever questions you have, you can ask me, but first let me sit. And then he sits down, right? And the two of them the two of them start talking. Gerard says that finally he has a person who is concerned about him and wants to know about his past. So Gerard is happy and he says, "Oh, finally I have got someone who is actually interested in knowing about me." And then he starts to talk about his own life story, how he was a child, he was stolen by a group of nomads, and then at the age of 32 years, he was living all alone in this small cottage in Essex. So why is he doing this? He is doing this because he is trying to build a suspense, an aura of suspense around him with the help of his story. So he is weaving stories. He is weaving story in order to delay, because he is he's holding his gun in front of him. So he's trying to deviate the intruder by his stories. Okay, trying to create a suspense. He was a playwright, so he was a theater person. So he was trying to create a suspense. He was trying to weave a story, deviate it, delay the process of killing as much as possible, but showing no signs of anxiety. Okay, the intruder, however, was not at all intrigued by Gerard's words. He wanted him to answer for only those questions that he had. He did not want to hear. He was not interested in hearing any of his story. Then the intruder repeated his question with emphasis and asked Gerard, now what does he want to know? He wants to know if Gerard lives alone. Okay. Now Gerard asks, what if I don't tell you? Then the intruder says that if you don't tell me that I'm going to harm you. So if you want to save your life, you have to answer all my questions. Right? Then Gerard also indicated to know his name, know the name of his intruder, of this intruder. But the intruder says that there is no need of knowing my name, but the intruder wants to know Gerard's full name, Christian name. What is Christian name? The name that he was given when he was baptized in the church. So there's a process of baptism in Christianity. So at that time, people are given names, right? So that is the name that he wanted to know, your Christian name. So he tells his full name, Christian name, as Vincent Charles. That is his Christian name. Okay, Vincent Charles is his Christian name, the name that was given by the church during the process of baptism, during the ceremony of baptism. All right. Next question asked by the intruder is whether Gerard had a car, to which Gerard replied negatively. He said no. And then the intruder said, "You are lying. I'm not foolish." Okay. He was smarter than him and knew that he had a car. He said that I'm smarter than you. I already know that you have a car, right? And he warns Gerard not to fool him. Gerard asked the intruder if he was really an American. He says that, "Are you?" So you can see how they are getting involved in a conversation, right? Gerard is constantly trying to involve the intruder into a healthy competition, into a friendly competition. He's trying to be very calm, very composed, trying to have a pleasant conversation, despite the fact that he's holding a gun, right? He's saying, "Okay, are you an American or you try to copy the American accent?" And the intruder actually understands that what is he trying to do. He's trying to act over smart. He says that, what do you think? Is this gun a toy? Okay. So if you don't answer my questions straight away, I'm going to harm you. And then Gerard showed that he's scared. Okay. He's scared and he would be happy to help the intruder. And then he said that, okay, I do accept that I have a car and it's in the garage. Then the intruder asked whether this place where Gerard is living was frequented by many people, or is this place very isolated. Gerard says that he rarely had any visitor. Okay. He added that very few people underwent the trouble of visiting him. Okay. Who visited him? It was the baker, it was the greengrocer and the milkman, and no one else bothered to visit him. All right. So only few people visited him. Right. The intruder said that he had come to know that Gerard did not meet tradespeople. Okay. So Gerard commented that if the intruder had gone through a lot of troubles, he says that, oh, you have gone through a lot of trouble to actually gain information about him, about me, right? So you should also disclose some details about yourself. And he said that the intruder had been very reserved. He's not talking much about himself. So you can see how, with the help of this conversation, Gerard is trying to also take out the information. See, the intruder is pointing a gun, trying to take out information from Gerard. But Gerard, by involving him in a conversation, is very cleverly also trying to take out some information from the intruder. Let's see who takes out information and what usage is the information. I mean, how the person is using the information and who outwits who. Okay, that is something which we need to see. The intruder said that he has a lot of talk about himself. And in case, Gerard, you are thinking to be smart, I am even more, okay, I am smarter than you. Okay, and then Gerard commanded that, oh, the Gerard commented, what smartness are you talking about? You have just broken into my cottage. Not a big deal, right? The intruder said that the reason, okay, the reason why I am here, that is going to shock you. So, this is where Gerard is kind of trapping the intruder, because that is what he wanted to know. What is the reason? Why has he entered? Okay, he wants to know his plan. Okay, so then the intruder says that he specialized in jewel robbing. Okay, he added that Gerard's car would be a gift for him, because he was asking about his car and Gerard said that it's in the garage. So he says that I am specialized in jewel robbing and your car would be a gift for me because it's very stylish. Gerard says that in Essex, jewels are hardly found, right? So he wanted to say that it is definitely futile, it is purposeless for the intruder to visit this area because you won't find any jewel over here. The intruder said that just like jewels, cops were also scarce. So it's not only the jewels that is which is scarce. Okay, apart from jewels, cops or police are also scarce, right? Why? Why does he talk about cops? Because he wants to live here peacefully. Okay, where there is no tension of the cops coming. Okay, and intruding. Right. So then he says, the intruder replied that he did not take the trouble to ask permission from Gerard because he won't be there for long. So he says that I don't even need to ask your permission. Okay, why? Because you are not going to live here for long. Now Gerard is showing that he is confused. He said, what do you mean by that? Why should I not be here for long? To which, so Gerard is again, you see, very cleverly trying to get hold of the entire plan. He says that you would be surprised to know my intention, but this is my intention, that I want to kill you. Okay? Gerard still did not show any anxiety. He just said, you sound harsh. That's very harsh. You want to kill me. The intruder replied sarcastically he would be sorry to do so because he had kind of developed a liking for him. He said, yeah, I would be killing you, but I'm sorry to do so because I have kind of developed a liking for you. Then Gerard said that this is a serious crime. You should not kill me. It's a serious crime. And then the intruder said that I am being chased by the police because I've already committed a murder. If I would be killing another person, it would still remain the same. You cannot punish me twice. You cannot hang me twice, right? So that is why it's okay. I mean, I'm already being chased by the police. So even if I kill you, I'm not going to be punished again for another murder. If they hang me, they will hang me once. They cannot hang me twice, right? So that is what he says, right? And Gerard said it means that the intruder was planning to murder him without a reason. He says that, oh, that means you are just wanting to murder me without any purpose, just like that, random killing. Okay, then he agreed that the intruder would not lose anything, but asked him what would he get by killing him. This is what he wanted to know, right? Again, very subtle plan, very intelligent, very witty of Gerard to constantly involve him into a conversation. Gradually, finally, trying to make him reveal his plan. Okay, the intruder said, now he reveals his plan. See, he would get freedom because he had already committed a murder. He is now being hunted down and he was hiding like a rat. And when he steals the identity of Vincent Charles Gerard, he would live life. He would live a life of freedom. He could go to places. He could eat, sleep because nobody would be identifying him, right? They would think that he was Gerard. Okay. Now, why does the intruder intend to kill Gerard? Definitely you can answer this now, right? So that was his entire plan, and here finally Gerard is successful in making the intruder reveal his plan. Alright, now let's see what happens next. Acha, and one more question is, why does the intruder not kill Gerard immediately? To this, the intruder says, even Gerard asks, why don't you kill me immediately? You can get, in trouble if you are delaying the process of killing, right? So the intruder says, I have heard your voice. I have heard you speaking your phone, answering your phone call. With the help of conversing with you, I will be able to copy even your language, right? So that is also something that is also a part of the intruder's plan. So he wants to completely take the place of Gerard, right? So Gerard asked the intruder that he would be okay. What would he do about his clothes? So what about your clothes? Anybody can recognize again. So now you can see how initially the intruder was asking questions to Gerard. Now the tables have turned. Now Gerard is the one who has assumed very subtly, who has taken the superior position, right? And the intruder is answering his question by his choice. Okay. So he said that I would be wearing your clothes, they would perfectly fit me. And then the intruder said while he was on run, he had reached a town called Aylesbury. There he saw Gerard and overheard two men discussing him. Okay. Their discussion revealed that Gerard was very strange and mysterious. So that is why he had selected Gerard, because he is strange, he is mysterious. So he lives in an isolated place that would be very, very feasible for the intruder. So it would be feasible for the intruder to actually take his place. Gerard warned the intruder not to act foolishly. He said that if he shot at him, he would be hanged to death. He added that even if he had stolen Gerard's identity, would be hanged to death. Now the intruder is curious. Why? Why would be I? If I take your identity, why would be I hanged to death? Why is that? So now Gerard plays his card. Okay. So what does he say? That I have already killed someone with a gun. Okay. Right. So I have already killed someone with a gun, and after that, one of my accomplices have been caught by the police. and they have already got evidence against me. Okay, that particular night, he was expecting the police to raid his house, and that is exactly the reason why he was packing the bag, because he was trying to escape from here, right? So this is the story that Gerard told the intruder. Okay, the intruder had no clue about this. Now he is anxious. Okay, now he is in a nervous situation. He does not know what to do. He wasn't prepared for this. Okay, so he agreed that Gerard had a bag. He saw, yes, that you are having a bag. He is also having a gun. He is carrying odd stuffs like artificial mustache, wigs, props, right? Gerard says that yes, I am carrying these props because I want to change my identity, appearance. I want to disguise, right? I have to hide myself. And then the intruder warned Gerard that, see, I'm warning you, I'm watching your moves, so don't try to act smart with me. And then Gerard said that, okay, one of my accomplices had been positioned already to warn me if he sees the police. Just then, at the moment, the telephone rang. And Gerard said that, okay, come on, it's time to leave now. And he directed the intruder to leave through the garage door. Okay. And then the intruder doubted, of course, he doubted initially. And then he said that you should not be foolish. Okay. But then he says, you see yourself. Come on, you see, I'm opening the door. You see, step into it and look at it if you're not believing me. The moment he opened the door and stepped to one side, he stepped to one side so that the intruder could see outside. The intruder leaned forward with the gun still. And what happens is Gerard gives him a push into the cupboard and the gun also falls down. Right? And then the intruder is rattling the door of the cupboard, shouting to be freed. So he successfully manages the intruder to lock the intruder inside the cupboard with his witty ideas, with his story that he weaves, right? So Gerard then answered the phone call, and that was so actually what was the phone call about? About the delivery of the props in time for the rehearsal of the play. So that was the real reason why the phone had rung. It was not the accomplice who was trying to warn Gerard about the police, right? So, and he added that he would add this incident in his next play. So finally, at the end, we come to know that Gerard was actually a playwright. Okay, so he asked the person on the phone to send a surgeon to his residence, right? So that's how the story ends. That's how the play ends. And this is a question, guys, which I want you to answer in the comment section. We will be taking this up in the next session. Why was Gerard packing a bag at the beginning of the play? How did this help him to outwit and trap the intruder? Very, very, very important question. Please do comment on this in the comment section. I hope this play is now absolutely clear to you guys. Okay. So thank you so much for watching, and do comment, do like the video if you did find it helpful. Comment on the homework question, and if you have got any doubts, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much, guys. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.